morning and welcome to economics class for this week. Economics for class 9. Today is 29th and we are taking our topic point number 1.4.3. That means lesson number 1, point number 4.3, and the topic is demand schedule. So in this class we are going to learn about the definition of demand schedule. Then we will learn the different types of demand schedule. The first, what is a demand schedule? Or before demand schedule, we should know what is a schedule. Schedule is a tabular representation. Tabular representation means data referred in terms of a table, just like this. You have got a rows and columns. Such kind of representation is called a schedule. So if the schedule is pertaining to demand, then that is a demand schedule. If the schedule is in relation to supply, then it is a supply schedule. Okay, so now come to demand schedule. What is a demand schedule? Demand schedule is a tabular representation in terms of tabular representation showing the different quantity of a commodity demanded by the consumers at different price. Alright, look at this table. Here in this column or row shows the price of a commodity, and at this price the different quantity of the commodity demanded by the consumer by one individual. Okay, like when the price is 100, 1 unit is purchased, or 1 dozen per unit. Unit is very important to mention. This is price rupees per dozen. That means the price of 1 dozen is 100. When the price of 1 dozen was 100, then dozen per week, the demand was 1 dozen per week. When the price was 90 rupees, then 2 dozen per week was demanded. Similarly at 100, 3, at 74 and 66. Now try to understand. When the price is decreasing, the demand is increasing. Of course, when the price becomes cheaper, you would like to buy more. And when the price is very high, you will buy less. And when the price decreases, you can buy more. So following that, this is a table. This table is referring to one particular person or only one family. So it is called individual demand schedule. If the demand schedule is for one person or one family or one household, then that is individual demand schedule. Now try to understand this. This is the price, and at this price, these are the different quantity purchased by a consumer, one person or one household. So this is individual demand schedule. Very carefully, this side shows the price and rupees per dozen must be mentioned, and this side shows the quantity demanded, dozen per week, time has to be mentioned. Understood? So this is individual demand schedule. Now the market demand schedule. In the market demand schedule, what do you find is price. This one is already explained to you. Price per week. That means when the price is 100 rupees, this is the quantity demanded by A. A buys 1 unit. When the price was 90, he purchases 2 units. When the price was 80, he purchased 3 units. When the price was 70, 4 units. And when the price was 60, he purchased 6 units. So in the market, there is not only one person who buys, but several persons. I have, for an example, consider 2 persons. More than one will become a market demand schedule. If it is only for one, if the table or the schedule is for only one person, then that is individual demand schedule. If the table shows the data for more than one person, then that will become a market demand schedule. I have taken here the case of 2 persons, by A and by B. That means when the price was 100 rupees, B purchases 2 units. When the price was 90, B purchased 4 units. At 80, he purchased 6, 78 and 60, 10 units. Okay. So that means on that particular dozen per week, in that particular week, what was the total quantity at this price sold or demanded, sorry. When price is 100, A buys 1 dozen per week, but at the same time, at the same price, B buys 2 dozen per week. That means at the same price, what is the total demand created for that commodity in the market? 1 plus 2, 3. When the price became less, 90 rupees, A purchased 2 units and B purchased 4 units. So what is the total demand created for that commodity at that particular time? 2 plus 4, 6. Similarly, for 80, it is 9, 3 plus 6, 9. At the price 70, it is 4 plus 8, 12. And at 60, 10 plus 6 plus 10 is 16. That means when the price is decreasing, the quantity demanded for both are increasing, and when you add up all the demand created by all the consumer, and when you add up for a particular commodity at a particular price, then that particular quantity will be market demand schedule. That means this is an individual demand schedule. This is the demand created by one person or one household at different prices in a given time period. This is the market demand schedule. This is the total demand created at different price by all the consumers for a commodity at a particular price and time period. So this is a market demand schedule. So dear children, this is a concept of demand schedule. Two types: individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. Alright, this much should be clear to you. And now on the basis of this, we can draw the curve. So we will draw the curve now. Please don't go anywhere. Let us continue. 1.4.3, the very next topic will be 1.4.4, and this will be demand curve. In the demand curve, we can draw the demand curve. Demand curve is also, now first of all, what is a curve? Curve is a graphical representation. That means tabular representation is schedule, and when the same thing is represented in terms of a graph, you know the graph, when the same data is represented in a graph, that's a graphical representation, and that graphical representation is the curve. In a graph, you take one quadrant of a graph, take one quadrant, and on the vertical, you represent price, and on the horizontal bar you represent the quantity demanded. Alright, so OX, OY. Now you can choose. I will draw it here. Based on this schedule, I will draw a curve. Here price, here quantity demanded, OX, OY. Based on this schedule, let us convert this tabular representation schedule in terms of a graphical representation. Let us decide the price. Price is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And dozen. Quantity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Price 100 here, and demand is 1. Yeah, where does it intersect? Make it a point. You can name it as A. Next is at 90, 2 unit. So 90 at 90, 2 unit. Yeah, name it as B. This is an imaginary line, no need to draw. If you can, without also will do. At 83, 80 comes here. You can write 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This way. At 83, 80 is here and 3 is here. So where does it intersect? Here. Mark it as C. At 74, when the price is 70, the demand is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, intersection here. And when the price is 60, the demand is 6, comes here. And mark it as E. Now join it. When you join this, a line you will get. This line is a demand curve. You can write DD as the demand curve. So this is a graphical representation, and this is individual demand curve. So it is same. It is same. The data meaning that it represents is same. This is in terms of table, so it is schedule. The same data in terms of a graph, it is a curve. So this is individual demand curve, this is individual demand schedule. On the basis of individual demand curve, you can draw individual demand curve. On the basis of schedule, you can draw a curve. If you don't have a schedule, you cannot draw a curve. Without the data, you cannot draw a curve. Understood? So this is individual demand curve. The meaning or the data that both the picture represent will remain same. It is same. So now let us draw the market demand curve. The market demand curve, let us draw. On the basis of market demand schedule, let us draw the market demand curve. What roughly I will draw it. This is same. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is a price, and this is quantity demanded. Quantity demanded is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. OX, OY. At 100, 1. At 100, 1. At 92, 90, 2. 83, 83. 74, 74, and 66, 66. So join it now. This is the demand curve DD, and DD for consumer A. Now let us draw for, this is a demand curve. This is DD for, here you can write DD is equal to for A. Now let us draw it for consumer B at 100, 2. 100 at 100, 2. At 94, 94. 86, 86. It will be easy. You can, if you number it. 74. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70. 78. 70 is 8, and 60 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 60 is 10. 10 is here. Now join it. You will get a D1, D1. So D1, D1 is for B. Okay, this is also the demand. This is a market. These two are the individual. If you consider only these two, then it's an individual demand curve. If you consider only these two, then it's an individual demand curve for B. This two is individual demand curve for A. This two is for individual demand curve for B. But if you combine these, then these two will be the market demand curve. Now, based on these two data, let us draw in the same curve, in the same graph. Let us draw market demand schedule at 103. At 103. Yeah. Then 96. 96. 89, 89, 70, 12, 70, 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 70 is here. 70, at 70 you have got 12. 12 almost comes here. 12 almost comes here, and 60, 16. At 60, 16 almost comes here. Now if you join it, you will get, this is D2, D2, and D2, D1, D1 is the individual for B. There's an individual demand curve for A, individual demand curve for B, and D2, D2 is market demand curve. Now, if you see, then market demand curve is flatter. This is always flat. Whereas individual, these two are the individual demand curve, and this is the market demand curve. So market demand curve is flatter, whereas the individual demand curve is little steeper. Steeper means closer to the vertical bar, and flatter means away from the vertical bar. Okay, so dear children, we have completed 1.4.4 and 1.4.3. We started today with the demand schedule, then we discussed the meaning of demand schedule, then individual demand schedule and market demand schedule as the two types of demand schedule. Then on the basis of the demand schedule, individual demand schedule, on the basis of that we drew the individual demand curve, and on the basis of market demand schedule we drew the market demand curve. So this is point number 1.4.4. we have completed this. Hope you understood. You can refer the book and try to understand, and if you have difficulties, then you are always welcome with your problems. Alright, so we will keep this for today. Thank you.